So, you're tasked with choosing a proctoring tool for your university. That's a huge decision, right? You're looking at all the bells and whistles, of course, but what if I told you the most important feature isn't really a feature at all? What if it's all about connection? Let's dive in.
Okay, let me ask you something right off the bat. You've invested time and money into a tool to uphold academic integrity, but is it actually helping? Or could it be, hurting, creating more problems than it solves for your students, your faculty, and even your IT staff? It's a really important question to think about.
All right, let's set the stage here. We're all facing a pretty universal challenge in today's academic world.
I mean, let's be real. Online learning isn't some side project anymore. It is central to how higher education works. And because of that, the stakes for remote exams have gone way up. Making sure they're fair, secure, and accessible isn't just a nice-to-have, it's an absolute must.
But here's the thing. This massive shift has accidentally created a really common problem. We like to call it the digital island problem. It's basically what happens when the very tool that's supposed to help ends up just causing a ton of new headaches.
See, when your proctoring software is just floating out there by itself, not talking to any of your other systems, it becomes this digital island. This means your faculty are doing double the work, students are getting confused with yet another login, and you know what? It can even create some serious security risks. It stops being a solution and just becomes another frustrating silo.
And when you put them side by side, the difference is, it's night and day. On one side, you've got the digital island with all its headaches, multiple logins, faculty manually entering student rosters, just clunky, disjointed everything. But on the other side, a connected ecosystem. Everything just works. Single sign-on, rosters that sync up automatically, data that actually makes sense together. The difference in how it feels to use it is just massive.
So the big question is, right? How do we escape that frustrating island and get to the promised land of a seamless ecosystem? That's exactly what we're going to talk about now. It's all about building bridges between your systems, not more walls.
And the key to all of this is one core idea: seamless integration. This is where your proctoring tool stops feeling like this separate, clunky thing you've bolted on and starts feeling like a natural part of your university. It just works with everything you already have: your LMS, your login systems, you name it. The goal is one smooth, stress-free experience for literally everyone. Okay, so we're talking about building bridges, but how do you actually do that? What does that look like in practice? Let's break down the absolute essential connections that turn a standalone tool into a powerhouse for your academic ecosystem.
All right, connection number one. And honestly, this is the big one: your learning management system, or LMS. Your Canvas, your Blackboard, Moodle, whatever you use. This is the digital heart of the university. If your proctoring software doesn't play nice with your LMS, you're honestly starting off on the wrong foot.
When that LMS integration is deep and done right, the benefits are huge and they're immediate. Think about it. Your professors can schedule exams right inside their course page. They don't have to go to some other website. Student rosters, they just sync up. No more uploading messy spreadsheets. This isn't just about making things a little easier, it's a game changer. It frees up your faculty to actually teach instead of being bogged down with admin work.
Okay, next up, let's talk about integration number 2, single sign-on, or SSO. Now, this might sound like a small technical thing, but trust me, its impact is massive for both convenience and security. Because really, who needs another password to remember?
And the way it works is it's so simple, it's beautiful. A student or a professor clicks on the proctoring tool, they get sent to the university login page they see every single day. They type in the username and password they already know, and that's it. They're in. No new passwords, no confusion. It's easy, it's familiar, and it is so much more secure.
All right, let's zoom in a bit and talk about the user experience. Because all these connections are really about making life better for the people who are actually in the trenches every day, your students and your staff.
So these next few integrations are absolutely vital for a smooth experience. First up, connecting with your assessment platforms. This keeps your actual test questions secure, right inside the tools where you built them. Second, and this one is a total non-negotiable, is integration with accessibility tools. This is how you make sure every student gets a fair shot. And last but not least, linking with your help desk. I mean, if a student hits a technical snag during a high-stakes exam, you want them to get help right away, right? This makes it happen.
Okay, now let's zoom back out and look at the final group of integrations. These are all about the big picture, making the entire institution run more smoothly and securely. Let's start with a big one: scheduling and calendars. Just think about trying to manage exam times for thousands of students. Maybe they're in different time zones all over the world. It can be a complete and total nightmare, right? Well, that's where this integration is a lifesaver.
So when your proctoring system talks directly to your university calendars, students can see all the open slots and book a time that doesn't clash with their other classes. No more back-and-forth emails. Meanwhile, your admins can see the demand and plan proctor availability way more efficiently. And for your distance learners, it handles all those tricky time zone conversions automatically.
And that brings us to the last major connection, reporting and analytics. See, a properly integrated system doesn't just create a bunch of data that sits in a silo. It pulls everything together to give you real, meaningful insights. When you connect it to your main analytics dashboards, you can start to see trends, figure out what's working, and constantly make your whole process better.
And the result of all this, the impact on your team's workload is it's dramatic. The amount of time your staff spends on tedious, manual exam admin work absolutely plummets when you move from a clunky, non-integrated system to one that's fully connected. The efficiency gains are just enormous.
Okay, so let's wrap this all up. What's the end goal here? What are we really trying to achieve with all these connections? It comes down to 3 words: seamless, secure, and stress-free.
And if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. The true value of a proctoring tool has very little to do with just watching a student take a test. Its real power comes out when it completely disappears into the background, when it just seamlessly becomes part of how your university already works.
You know, at the end of the day, this isn't really about just catching cheaters. That's a very narrow way to look at it. It's about building a fundamentally better, more modern academic experience for everyone. Yeah, it needs to be secure and fair, of course, but it also has to be efficient for your faculty and, maybe most importantly, supportive, not stressful for your students.
And so, that really leaves us with one final big question you should ask yourself. When you look at your own exam environment, what do you see? Is it a bunch of disconnected digital islands, or is it a network of strong, connected bridges? The answer to that question, well, it changes absolutely everything.